Okay, chapter 7-exercise 1. Now it's going to accept that. All right, so let's just turn on the plane and we go to extrude placement define on this top. Okay, we're going to use top datum plane as a sketching plane. Okay, sketch view, and we're going to remove a bunch of stuff here, and we're going to put the center line in here, and we're ready to go. So we're going to create a rectangle, and that is going to be symmetric with respect to X and Y axis. All right, and the total instead of rectangle, let me just go back. I think this is rectangle is not a good idea, so I'm going to go back and just create 2 circles. Okay, not a rectangle. So we're going to have 2 circles with the same radius. Okay, same radius. Next, we're going to do the symmetric with respect to the y-axis. Okay, all right, great. Next, we're going to dimension from center to center, which is 58. Okay, 58. Then we're going to give a radius of 38. Okay, since this is equal circle radius, so we're going to just enter the 38. And now we're going to create a line tangent to this curve. Okay, and now we're going to delete or trim this piece inside this circle so we can clear it. Okay, all right, so we are ready to go. And now we have the radius for both curves the same, and R1 means same radii, and the point of tangency should be there. And then we're going to just click on extrude. Okay, and this is the shade so that we can just give a thickness of 10. Okay, thickness of 10 or depth. So we have a first solid model, or we call it the base feature. Okay, that's a base feature. So we're going to turn the plane on. So we're going to use the view and display the tag, which is already here, the top, the frontal plane, and then we have a right side plane. Okay, so we're going to create a second feature. We're going to use revolve. Okay, revolve placement define. We're going to place it on the frontal plane, or okay, front datum plane, and then we say sketch view. Now we're going to turn off auto display for clarity, and then turn the shade to no hidden. So we're going to go right click, we're going to put the references, and oops, it didn't catch. Okay, so we're going to just say reference, solve, close. Now we're going to add a line, and before we do anything, we put the center line in here for the axis of revolution. So we're going to go line from here to there. That's a horizontal line. Okay, this, I'm waiting for the system to respond. Okay, and maybe, all right, so, and that is going to be, the total distance is 70. Enter. Okay, next we're going to go up in this direction here, and then straight up. Okay, we go to deselect, and we're going to give a dimension from this point to the base, and that is should be 54. Okay, 54. Okay, and shift, and we're going to click on middle mouse button and shift simultaneously so we can move the sketch around so it's visible. So we're going to give a dimension from here to here, and that should be 73. Enter. and then we're going to have a line that goes from that point to here and then all the way back to origin. Okay, all right, so now we're going to change this dimension. For the top diameter will be 44. Enter, and we click on, we're done with the sketch, and that's nicely done. See that here is going to be on that plane. If I change this to shading, and you can see that we created on the frontal plane, which is exactly in the middle of this base feature. So we can just check, and now since it's a revolve, it's gonna have a 360 degree revolution. It's a revolve with respect to the axis of revolution, and we say check. Okay, so now we have that. Next, we're going to make another revolve on the given tower here, or created tower. Let's just move them around a little bit. You can see that this is all nicely done. Next, we're going to go to revolve, placement, define. Don't forget to activate the plane again, because we wanted to place it on the same plane. Okay, frontal plane, sketch view. So temporarily, we're going to just deactivate all the planes for clarity, and the shade should not be there, no hidden. Now don't forget to put a center line in here, okay, in the middle. That's the axis of revolution. Next, we're going to put some references. Okay, let me see if I can put the reference. So we're going to put references, one in here and one in there. That's good enough. Okay, solve. Okay, so we're going to have a line from there to there, which is the total diameter is going to be 25. Okay, I'll just show you that a little bit, zoom it. So we're going to have that should be 25. Okay. Okay, let's just move them around a little bit. Okay, all right, so unfortunately the mouth is not cooperating, but that's the way it is sometimes. Okay, so we're gonna go down from here with not equal length. Okay, we have the measurement, and that is we're gonna deselect, and that measurement should be 15. Okay, almost approximately is there. So next, let me just go from this point at the point 15 measure, distance from the top to this point. Then we're going to create a like a pipe thread. Okay, pipe thread, and should be 1.5 by 1.5. So if I start from here, make sure that is equal, the length is equal. Okay, so we're going to go one, we're going to create one equal length. I hope you can see that. Okay, equal length, and we're gonna have equal length, one. Okay, equal length, 1, 2. All right, I think that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Now we're gonna dimension from this line, from the top line here to this point. It should be 25. Okay. All right, so that should be, let me just undo that because it's not, the mouse is acting weird. So I'm going to go from here to there, and that should be 25. Okay, 25. Perfect. Oops, not from there. Okay, undo. And this is from there to there. Should be 25. Okay. Okay, let me see, 15. Oh, let me just do this. I have to give, before I do that, I have to give the dimension for the threaded portion, the square thread. So I'm going to give that to be a 1.5. No wonder it's just acting weird. Okay, so we want that to be 1.5. Is going to affect the rest. Okay, so now if I change that to 25, it's going to work. Okay, to 25. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna just hold the shift button and then move this around, and I just wanted to use the middle click and zoom in and out, but the mouse is just not functioning. Okay, all right, so it's trying to do that, but unfortunately, all right, so okay, we're gonna have a zoom in and out. Okay, so next we're going to create a line from this point. We're gonna go a distance of 64. Okay, 64, and that diameter of the base. Then we're gonna go up, or let's just do this. We're gonna go from there to there, and then we're going to connect to that point. So we're gonna put a fillet radius on this one here. We're gonna put a fillet, a circular trim fillet. Click on this line, click on this line, and you can just give a radius of 4. Okay, give a radius of 4. All right, hope you're following so far. Okay, and we're going to continue, and there's a little problem here. We're going to zoom in this one here. Let me just temporarily delete this line here, and I'm going to have a line that is a little bit extended further than this intersection. Okay, the reason for that is because I want to put a fillet radius of 2 at the intersection of these two lines, this line and this line. So I'm going to put a fillet radius at from there to there, and that radius is going to be 2. Okay, 2, and now we are ready to redo the line. Okay, so let me just zoom a little bit and trim this extra, the extension of that line, so we have tangent, and now we can go back to this from starting point to where the point of tangency is. So we can just change the dimension back to 64. Okay, now we are happy, and don't forget to give the angle between this line and this line. That angle should be 75. Okay, 75 degrees. Enter. All right, great. Okay, let's just auto scale it. Okay, zoom it there, and now we have a okay, this measurement is 25. So L1, 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 and now we can just go back to here and click on this line here, and okay, so we have the angle of 75, and this is 25, this is 15, this is 25, so we can just revolve that. Okay, go back to shade, and then we check it, and you can see that this is all cut, inside is removed, and we have a threaded hole in here. Okay, so that's a threaded hole. Next, we're going to create a bunch of holes. Okay, we're going to use the pattern to create the holes on the top. Okay, so we're going to go to Extrude Placement, Define. We click on this surface and a sketch view. Let's change it to no hidden so we can see it. Next, we're going to create let me right click on reference so we know that that's a concentric circle. So we're going to create a circle which we call it a reference center circle with a diameter of, let's see what the diameter of 35. Okay, that diameter is 35. Enter. Now I'm going to highlight this here. Okay, unfortunately the mouse is not helping. Okay, so if I click on this circle here or this one here, okay, and then right click, we say construction. Okay, construction line. All right, very good. Now we're going to create a hole, one hole with a diameter of, that diameter is 5. Okay, diameter of 5, and then we're going to extrude that. Okay, let's shade it. So we have this a hole is positioned. Okay, let's see if I have a diameter. Did I place it in a, yeah, okay, so that's right there. And then we're gonna have a, we're gonna just say check, and then we're gonna reverse the arrow. So we're gonna have a cut, and the depth should be 10. Okay, it goes only 10 units down. Okay, there's a 10 unit down. So then we are happy with that. Then we go to pattern. Okay, make sure for the pattern, since the circular pattern, we need to define the axis. Okay, we're going to just activate the axis, click on this axis, and we're going to place 8 holes. Okay, the pattern 8 with the spacing angle is going to be 45 degrees. So we're going to create a pattern hole. We're going to use the pattern to create this 8 holes on this surface. And so when the key was to click on the axis. Okay, so this is the axis here, is under this here, not the dimension. Just click on the axis, and then it tells you that, oh, now you have, with respect to that axis, you can create 8 holes. So we're going to check it, and you can see that we have created 8 holes on that surface. Okay, so that's great. Next, I'm going to, let's just a little bit pause, because the computer is trying to process something, so it's slowing everything down, unfortunately. Hopefully in the future, I'm going to use the desktop, so it's going to go faster and it's easier to work with. Okay, all right, so next I'm going to create, let me turn the plane on. I'm going to create a hole, extrude placement define on this plane, which is the frontal plane, and a sketch view. Okay, so let's turn off the shading as shade, no shade. Okay, and we're going to turn off all the plane, and I'm going to create a reference line somewhere there, and then solve close. So I'm gonna have one circle placed on this, and on this axis here, and then you can see that this dimension should be 9.5. Okay, you just enter 9.5, enter, and then the diameter of that hole should be the diameter of the hole should be 5 as well. Okay, 5. Okay, all right, so we're gonna place one hole on this face here, and let me just turn the shading back on, and now you can see that I've created one hole on that face. And then we're going to, let me just go back here, and we're gonna say check, and you can see that this has to be you know, extended in both direction. Okay, this is both direction, extrude on both sides. And then I'm going to just pull this a little bit out, and then say remove material. So we created a hole that goes all the way through this materials. Okay, in both direction. Okay, great. So we're going to check it. Now we're going to create what? We're going to pattern that. Okay, it's supposed to be 6 holes, but look at this technique for doing, instead of showing 6 holes, I'm going to show 8 holes, but I'm going to remove 2 because we only need 3 holes on this face and 3 holes on the back side. So we're going to just go pattern, and then we go to dimension, or axis, I'm sorry, axis, and then we're going to just activate the axis, and then I'm going to click on this axis. Okay, and as soon as I do that, it's going to ask me how many holes you want to place there. I said actually 6, but since the spacing is 45 degrees, it's better to use 8, because 360 divided by 8 is 45. Okay, 45 degrees, and you can see that there are a total of 8 holes on this circumference. Okay, around this tower, the head, it has 8 holes, but I only needed I only needed 3 holes. Okay, I only needed 3 holes. Let me just look at the front view. Okay, and if I rotate them a little bit, I need only these 3 holes. So I'm gonna just remove this one and remove that one. Okay, then I'm gonna go check, and now I have the 6 holes that I'm interested, okay, to have. So you can see that that's how this is. If you zoom, you can see that there's a 1, 2, 3, and the spacing is 45 degrees with respect to the axis, okay, or with respect to this hole, 45, 45 on each side. So that's the quickest way of doing that, okay. Next, I think we're almost there, okay. So I created that. Next, I'm going to create 2 holes on this side, extrude, placement, define. On this face, I'm going to create 2 holes, and that is, let me just change this to no hidden, and I'm going to drop 1 holes in here, and then on the same line, see that if you just follow that on the same collinear, okay, so equal radii, and all we have to do is we're going to change the diameter of that hole to I think 7.5, okay, 7.5. All right, and then the enter, oops, 7.5, 7.5, enter. Okay, they changed that now. Both circles have the same diameter, okay, same diameter, and you can see that the arrow is going through it. That means it's a diameter. If the arrow is on the circumference, we call it radius. So now I need to have the distance center to center. The machine is always like to see that the dimension from the center of the one hole to the other hole, and that is really useful for the machine shop. So I'm going to just give you the 46, okay, or 46, enter. And one thing I have to do, see that it pushed this all the way up. I'm going to use my constraint called Symmetric. Okay, that's a symmetric constraint. Make 2 points vertices symmetric. So what I will do is I'm going to click on this center and this center. But before I do that, let me just put a center line on this here. Okay, all right, so I'm going to repeat that. Okay, I'm going to have a center, because you need really to have a center line there. Okay, now it's going to push. So that means the center of this hole and this hole are symmetrical with respect to this x-axis. Okay, great. So let's just do this, and we're going to change that to shading, and then I'm going to go check, and we're going to just drill a hole through here. Let's just move them a little bit around so you can see that we reverse the arrow because we want to poke the hole through the material, and then we say through hole. Okay, that's a through hole, and then we are happy. Now we're going to use mirror to just have a mirror these 2 holes on the opposite side. Okay, so let me just do this, and then make sure that you turn the plane back on, and we're going to use this plane, the right side plane is going to be our reference plane to use the mirror. So the mirror function is going to be useful. So these 2 holes has to be highlighted. It's green, okay, it's highlighted green. All I have to do is go click on mirror, and it says with respect to what references, that reference, and then I'm going to click on check mark, and you can see that the 2 holes has been placed on the opposite side of this plane. All right, great. Now next, I'm going to create a round. Okay, we're going to put a round on this edge here. So for a stiffness, for the strength of the material, in order to increase the fatigue life of this kind of part, if it's subjected to a cyclic loading, it's a good idea to create a fillet radius or round that will improve the fatigue life of a part, because upon the impact, if it's not reinforced by a fillet radius, is going to snap, is going to break. So it's a good idea for the design to create or to add a fillet radius on that circumference on the bottom where this tower touches this, merges with this surface here. Okay, all right, so we're going to have a radius of 5, and that is nicely done. You can see that it's 5, and now we're going to do the same. We're going to check it, and then we're going to do the, see that now is nicely done. Okay, see that here. And next we're going to do the round again for this here. Is going to be, is going to go all around it, but that shouldn't be 5, that should be 3. Okay, the radius is 3. Enter. So beautiful, and we have a we've completed that, and this is our final model. But let me just do a little bit of rendering so it looks nice to just use the surface maybe as that color, and then we go around it. We just say this is maybe blue. Okay, and then we're gonna just do the top red, red color maybe here. Okay, all right, and then we're gonna just use maybe yellow, and then we go for control. Okay, maybe that. Okay, all right, so that's nice. And then we have the bottom, maybe we can just use that color. All right, so that's beautiful. It's like a, you know, marble. All right, so that's, and if you wanted to check, you know, the maybe inside here, control. Okay, so that's good. And then we have the face. I'm gonna just put green. Okay, I want to just click on control. Okay, if you want to click on bunch of surfaces, okay, entities, make sure that you click on control or hold the control down so that you can have multi surfaces. You know, you can just select several surfaces. Okay, great, and then we say okay. All right, so this is done, and I'm going to turn off the plane so that you can see this with clarity. You can rotate them in any direction you want, and then if you want to shift and middle click, you can move your part to different locations. It's like dealing with the vector quantity. Okay, this is a vector. See that it has a magnitude and direction. And then if you use control, see that control and middle click, you can zoom in and out. Okay, zoom in and out. All right, so I think I'm done with this one. Okay, I hope you enjoyed and you followed my lecture. It's sometimes it's a little bit tedious, but I hope you could just follow the way I'm explaining it. I hope it was not too fast, but just try to, you know, do it yourself. And then when you do it yourself and then you get stuck and then you come and watch this video, it should help you. Okay, just let me know if this was useful. Okay, thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.